Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue, still not had a proper shave since Christmas. Planning on doing something about that soon. And welcome to this weekly haul of mine. It's not going to be a big one, hopefully there'll be some interesting things for you there. But please keep on watching and find out. This is the first test of my new light boxes, which of course is happening on the first day in ages, where in actual fact the outside lighting would have been just perfect, but I have to find out whether or not this is going to be suitable for any time when the outside lighting doesn't work. So this is a sort of test run for that, but I mean I can see from the picture that it's not too bad. From what I can see at the moment. We shall see a bit more close up during editing, so I shall decide then, which of course will be too late. But anyway, let's get on with the haul, which is what you came here for. Right, and first up, I think you might remember that I said I wasn't going to order all of the MCU Mondays coming up, but I realised how few of them I wasn't going to be ordering and went, oh, what the heck. And so, yes, here's an MCU Mondo for you. Yep, this one is the Mondo for Thor: The Dark World. Now, I know that this is not one of the more popular Thor movies. In actual fact, it's one of the least popular MCU movies. Personally, I don't happen to agree. I actually like this one, and I felt they should have stayed with the slightly more serious tone for the Thor movies, like they started off when they were directed after the first one was done by Kenneth Branagh, and not gone the way of Ragnarok, where they started inserting lots of more humour. But I know in the minority on that, and I can also see why they did it, because Thor was joining up with Guardians of the Galaxy in Infinity War, set after Ragnarok, and obviously they had to get his balance of humour in his movies tied in with the humour level of Guardians of the Galaxy, where I felt it fitted much better. And so that you couldn't have one part of the movie being serious with him in it, and the other part being lots and lots of silliness with Guardians of the Galaxy, Rocket making jokes all the time, etc. So I could see why they did what they did with Ragnarok. I just don't happen to agree as a standalone film that it did stand up in my mind. But anyway, this one is the rather nice Mondo cover. I hope you can see that. For Thor: The Dark World. This has obviously got the same 4K and Blu-rays in it as all the other releases, but in the very nice Mondo packaging with nice, well, these would be removable stickers. I'll just take them off anyway, if I can quickly. Oh well, that's torn it. Removed the whole of that bit of book wrapping, so might as well do the rest. That's the I have yet to try out this, or like I said, new lighting rig, so don't know where the reflections are coming from anymore. That's the front cover. If you slide off the outer Mondo case, it doesn't have a lot to line up on this one. It's just very plain with a title at the bottom. and the steelbook itself is unique, but really nice spot glossing on the figure of Thor and the title. Very nice indeed, actually. I very much like that. No spot glossing on the back though. But since the back of the case is all that just covers the whole of the back up anyway. So, like I said, some of them it seems to line up the front cover with elements from the slip, the see-through polythene slip. In this case it doesn't, and I've just looked and seen that even though that's on the back, it's actually a piece of card that's stuck to the inboard inside of the back of the slip case. So if you took that out, it would just be a separate piece of card, and the back would be absolutely transparent, I believe. So that's where they've done it on this one. So I don't know whether that's going to be a new thing for a lot of these batch 2, whatever you want to call them, MCU releases. I know it certainly wasn't the case for one of the ones I didn't get, which was really nice, the Black Panther one, where they actually lined up the interior picture with the overlays on the front, which is quite interesting, but we shall see. So moving on, I think this is my only import of the week, but it's one that I've been after for quite some time, a film that I've been after for quite some time rather than the specific import, but it's very hard to get hold of. So this was the easiest one I could find, and that is the French version, or the French release of Fabulous Baker Boys. I don't know, I think that might be a rattler, but I do know it's also got a booklety type thing in there, I believe, so that could be just that being loose. I shall take it out later. Obviously it is a bit annoying that it isn't called the Fabulous Baker Boys, it's been translated to Susie and the Baker Boys, introducing Michelle Pfeiffer's character Susie actually into the title, which the original didn't. The story, if you didn't know, is it's a drama about two brothers who are piano playing lounge singers, played by the real life brothers Jeff Bridges and Beau Bridges, and they realise that their careers aren't going so well, and what they really need is a singer to join them, because they mostly just do piano work. So what they really need is a quality singer. So they audition, and up turns Michelle Pfeiffer, who's absolutely gorgeous and has a gorgeous singing voice. And I don't know whether she did her own songs in this. And of course there's the romantic stress and drama brought into the relationship when the less settled but more skilled brother starts to have romantic feelings for her, and if I recall correctly, reciprocated. And the scene where she sings Making Whoopee going across the piano in that red dress, worth it just for that. Big crush of Michelle Pfeiffer. Right, on to something that's more my usual style, and you probably remember this from mentioning this actor last week and many other weeks as well. Yet another Jason Statham film. This one's called 13. I've been trying to get hold of this for a little while. I ordered it when it was quite cheap ages ago, but it wasn't in stock, so I had to wait until it was in stock. But at least they was finally did turn up, and they respected the price. It's got a very, very good supporting cast in it, or a cast and supporting cast for this sort of movie. Underground. So I don't know who it is. Which one of the characters takes on a new identity, but gets caught up in an underground gambling ring, where the gambling game is Russian roulette. So obviously that's going to end up in a lot of violence. First rule is you don't talk about Russian roulette. As you can probably see, could probably have read already, the cast includes Ray Winston, Curtis 50 Cent or 50 Cent Jackson, Mickey Rourke, and Jason Statham. So if you're talking crime thriller action pieces, those are good names to have in there. I'm certainly looking forward to watching it. As I say, I don't need to actually say that. I wouldn't actually buy it if I wasn't looking forward to watching it. Next up we have Aces High. This is an upgrade from a DVD I have, and it's a classic drama about World War One, where Malcolm McDowell plays a man sort of even older than he is for his time, as a training officer, and he has to deal with the fact that all these young I don't know if it's him or not, but all these youngsters turn up looking forward to the big excitement of war and being flying aces, where in actual fact the true life is very short and horrible, and people die and very rarely get home. And even that was even introduced into Blackadder, the fact that their life expectancy was very, very short. He's got there's Peter Firth also is in here, and apparently as the public schoolboy is introduced to the drunken facts of life with sex, drink, horror and hell of the 20th century warfare, it's mixed in with some of the best aerial fighting, flying sequences, certainly of its era, that have been shot. It's got a couple of interviews, one with the director, one with Malcolm McDowell, and a short film about the original premiere, plus a restoration comparison, because this is a vintage classic and it's been digitally restored. So very much looking forward to seeing how much of an improvement that one is over the DVD. This one is one that's been on my list of ones to pick up for quite some time, or in fact it's been on my Christmas and birthday list for quite some time, but nobody ever got around to buying it for me, so I got around to buying it for myself. And this one is About Time. It's romantic comedy, and despite what it says on the front about digital copy, mine didn't come with one because I got it second hand. I think it was off Music Magpie, but it's quite an interesting story or idea about a young man at the age of 21. He sold the incredible family secret that all the men in his family have the ability to relive their past and can go back to any moment to try to relive them differently to see to improve the outcome if you get it wrong, so you can get it right. He decides to use this gift to win the heart of the person he's fallen in love with, but as you find out, just that doesn't tend to matter how many times you try it, something different just goes wrong. Um, it does have Bill Nye in it, and I think he's a great actor, and I really enjoy watching him. It has deleted scenes, a blooper reel, and a music video as extras. So, yes, like I said, I've had this one on a list of ones I wish to pick up for quite some time, and so I did. Next up, another vintage classic, and this is another brand new restoration. Well, it says on the sticker. I didn't notice that they crushed the corner of the slipcase a bit, but I'm not too bothered. And this is Circus of Horrors. A little bit different for me, and this is a film about a disgraced doctor whose experiment went wrong, set in the 1960s. Therefore, he has to flee to escape the police, where he flees to onto the continent, I think, I can't remember. And he hides, or is hidden by a travelling circus, where he helps the scarred daughter of the circus owner. So they look after him, and he uses the circus as a cover to take in and use his experimental surgery exploits on disfigured women, transforming them into his internationally successful Temple of Beauty for the circus. However, if they threaten to leave, all of a sudden they start meeting with gruesome accidents, raising the suspicion of Scotland Yard, that was soon on its tail. The extras for this one include an interview with critic and author Kim Newman. Kim Newman was always good value for as a great critic of this sort of thing. Very well informed. There's a new interview again with the broadcast Stuart Marconi. That's him on radio, isn't it? Stills gallery and original trailer. Nothing more than that, but those that are there seem quite high quality, so looking forward to that. That's it. It's got a slip. Nothing. The cover's the same as the slip, so there's no real point in the brand new restoration. It is a sticker, but I suspect when I pull it off, I'm going to need that anti-gunk stuff to clean off the cover, so I'm not going to do it on video yet. So, yeah, one new Studio Canal Vintage Classic series. Another one. That's good. Next up, I'm sure you remember me showing you quite recently that I picked up Full Metal Alchemist, a very highly regarded anime. Season 1. Well, it isn't season 1 because Full Metal Alchemist is followed by Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is sort of what I call season 2. I bought part 1 of Full Metal Alchemist, which came in a double width box, so I had left space for part 2. So guess what I went and did? Yes, I'm assuming you guessed. The answer is I went out and bought Full Metal Alchemist Part 2. You can't see that because on the front they've strapped in a little art booklet. That's one of the extras. I'll actually take that off so you can see the actual cover. That's just held on with a piece of wraparound card paper, and that's a little extra lots of artwork. lots and lots of pages, and it's not too bad, quite thick. So let's see whether it fits in. That is the case itself, and moving on to whether it fits in the box that I showed you when I got Full Metal Alchemist Part 1, which I love the way it actually has, not only in the slip, but the inner slip has got different artwork again, and that's the Part 1, and that is the Part 2 just reserved spot thing. And will it fit? I hope so. Which I think so. There we go. Parts 1 and Part 2. Now, my big question now, of course, is whether or not that will fit in as well. Yes, it will. Excellent. That's brilliant. I was a bit worried when I tried it, whilst it still had the wrapping around it earlier. In actual fact, it was very, very stiff fit. But now that the wrapping's off, that seems to all work beautifully. And I'm very, very happy. And moving on from... Oh, put that back on there. So that's my full set now of Full Metal Alchemist to go up on the shelf. And I suspect this will end up somewhere being recycled. And moving on from that, we have one of the Full Metal Alchemist films that sits between Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the two series. Now, unfortunately, this is the second of the two films rather than the first. The main reason, I suspect you've probably guessed already, being that the first is out of print, as is the double pack of both films, which is my other alternative that I was hoping to go down the route of. And because it's out of print, the only way to seem to be able to get it is to go on the second-hand route for about 50, 60, 70 pounds, and I'm just not going to go down that route unless I get really, really lucky one day. Maybe I'll see it in CEX or a second-hand shop. You never know. These things have, stranger things have happened. That horse becoming Pope, for one. And yeah, this is the Sacred Full Metal Alchemist, Sacred Star of Milos. Specifically states it's the movie, and like I said, I believe it gets set after this series and before the follow-up Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Moving on, I have also bought a little bit more anime, which is the series of Cowboy Bebop. Now, it's one of the series that I've been interested in for quite some time. It's another one of the animes that has a very good reputation. You can get it in series form, you can get it as a movie, and I think there's also a more recent Netflix one or something. I don't know how to get whether or not that's available yet. But I hear from Ray, who commented on my last video recommending it to me, and I respect her opinion very much, and her channel is absolutely fantastic, and I will put it in the link below in the description. Please check it out. So thanks, Ray, appreciate it. Just pushing me towards buying more things as though I needed pushing. So this is like I say, this is the complete. You can get it in 2 parts, but I thought save some space, get it in one. It's a complete series, 4 discs, 26 episodes, 650 minutes. This is relatively old. It's still in 4:3 format, 1.37 to 1 to this even, and it's, I believe, Dolby Digital 5.1 for Japanese and English. It hasn't got any of the lossless surround formats, but it does have the usual commercials. It does have the usual clean credit sequences. It's also got some holiday short. It's got a remix of one of the videos, and it does have commentaries on 5 of the obviously important episodes. So very much looking forward to seeing that for the first time after understanding that it's a very good series for quite some time. Just never been quite sure whether or not to go down the movie or series route, but since it's based on, this anime is based on the manga, I suspect that the best route to go down is a TV series, because it gets more depth and allows it to follow more closely onto the original manga if it wants to. Though sometimes, of course, they do forcefully put extra background in, which maybe weakens it. But the opposite sometimes happens, or tends to happen, with movies, where they try to pack too much in from a very detailed background story, and usually the big advantage for a movie would be a higher quality, potentially, director and the actors who actually are in it. I don't tend to find that is particularly applicable to something like anime, so I think this is probably the way to go. That's not to say I won't pick up the movie for comparison at some point in the future if I see it cheaply. And moving on to my final anime of the week, and this is called The Rising of the Shield Hero. This is the complete season 1. Again, you can get it in parts 1 and 2, I believe. And unusually for a lot of the things I'm buying, this hasn't been out for years, and I'm just discovering these sorts of things now. Though it actually came out, or was made in 2019, that's why I was going to make a note. It actually wasn't released on physical format until December 2021, so this is actually quite new to the market. I believe there is going to be a series 2. I don't know whether it's actually been made and they just haven't put it out on disc yet, but I'm looking forward to watching this one. It is still quite expensive because it's so new, hasn't even had a chance to drop in price. Not that anime does generally do that anyway. This one's based on a popular dark fantasy light novel. I'm not quite sure what the definition of a light novel is, but it seems to be a lot of manga is called light novels. Maybe it's, if I can find a definition, I'll put something up there. Anyway, this one is the hero or protagonist is summoned to the video game-like kingdom of Melamark, where he's tasked with defending it from calamity as a shield hero, but he is betrayed and belittled as the weakest of its protectors. But will this hero turned cynic still want to fight? So I believe that he's not the only one. I think there's probably a sword hero and a spear hero, something like that. I can't remember the exact details. I read about it obviously before reading it, buying it rather. But he is the main focus, obviously, of this particular story length. There isn't that much to say about the special features. We've just got video, TV spot, and the textless opening and ending titles, songs as usual. They only last about 9 minutes according to the notes on the back of the case. And the series itself, though, does last 621 minutes, so there's a goodly length of time there. That'll be 600 minutes is 10 hours, so it's about 20 episodes, isn't it? So you're probably more than that because they'll be taken into account. They've stripped out the adverts, etc. But no, another one put out by Funimation, and I seem to be getting more and more of their stuff as they seem to take over the a lot of the titles I like, and it'll have the digital copy from Funimation. I don't usually watch digital stuff, content. And finally, as I was saying, I think again as a very recent pickup, when I picked up season 2, and I thought season 3 was coming up for release. I was wrong. It had been released already, and in fact has already received a very big drop in price, which surprised me a lot because Neil Gaiman I really respect as a writer, and I think the series is relatively popular, and that is American Gods. This is season 3, about the war between the old gods and new gods of technology, which is got all sorts of interesting ideas, and one of the main characters being played by Ian McShane, who I very much like. His character in John Wick is great, but obviously going back to Deadwood, even better. And this one seems to be where he discovers more about his place in this battle between the gods, the old gods and new, and they got featurettes, casting describing season 3 with emojis. That would be amusing. Why watch season 3? I think they really, I'm not sure quite why they specifically put that in there. Maybe they're just pulling out what they're calling pulling out key plot points and character spots. It's still 18. It's still 18 rated for strong bloody violence, nudity, gore, and sex. So they're not messing about with the hiding the storyline, which is good. I think if the storyline demands it and it fits in, that's what they should be doing. You shouldn't be toning it down for an adult, or if an adult audience wants to, who has read the book, wants to see that book properly represented. College, why the people go around toning them down is very, very annoying. So anyway, like I said, this is my last pickup of the week. I hope you found something useful and informative there. And again, I would point out that my video of 2 weeks ago, the very, very long one, yes, that one, December and Christmas, where at the end you just have to answer one of the questions relating to something I said in the video. The first person to do so, I sent this copy of Scarface to. Still hasn't been answered, and still nobody's won. So again, I'll put another link down in the description to this video, so you can go straight back and easily find it. If you do want to have a go, it's not exactly difficult, but I do know, I dare say, quite a lot of people who are watching do have this copy, but that doesn't necessarily mean you don't want to give it away to a friend and introduce them to a lovely new movie. I say lovely, okay, good. Wouldn't necessarily describe Scarface as a lovely movie, but yes, thanks very much for watching. Please like if you did like the video. It really does help the channel. And again, I'd like to emphasize, I'd like to keep everybody to keep on watching everybody else's videos and TV and enjoying your lives, and be careful out there. And Pete, Bullet Ray, Britt, Ainsley, please keep getting better.